Have you ever traveled to Vietnam and wandered through its bustling streets in the early morning? Did you happen to come across those vibrant little food stalls on the sidewalks with tiny plastic chairs and sit down to enjoy the amazing street food there? If you have, you definitely can't forget Banh Cuon, one of the most iconic Vietnamese breakfast dishes. This dish captivates food lovers with its delicate, paper-thin rice sheets rolled around a savory filling of minced pork and wood ear mushrooms, topped with a generous handful of crispy fried shallots, and dipped in a sweet and savory fish sauce. But what if you're thousands of miles away from Vietnam and craving this authentic flavor? Traditionally, making Banh Cuon requires a specialized cloth steamer, a tool that is very hard to find outside of the country. Don't worry. Today, I'm going to show you a brilliant, improved technique to make perfect, authentic Banh Cuon right in your own kitchen using just a regular non-stick pan. The texture will turn out incredibly soft, smooth, and moist. Let's get cooking and bring the taste of Vietnamese street food to your home. To make this dish, we'll need a few simple ingredients that you can easily find at any Asian supermarket. For the batter, we need 250 grams of rice flour and 150 grams of tapioca starch. This perfect ratio will give our rice rolls that signature soft and chewy texture. For the savory filling, I have prepared some minced pork, 35 grams of dried wood ear mushrooms soaked until plump, along with plenty of shallots and green onions for that irresistible aroma. For the sides, we can't forget the fresh accompaniments. We'll need cucumbers, blanched bean sprouts, Thai basil, and lettuce. And of course, some traditional Vietnamese pork roll known as Chả Lụa. We will also need basic seasonings like salt, pepper, sugar, seasoning powder, and fish sauce. Everything is ready, so let's get started. To make Banh Cuon, we need to prepare the batter first. To get that perfect, chewy yet soft texture, we will combine two types of flour. Here, I have 250 grams of rice flour and 150 grams of tapioca starch. Now, here is a secret tip for the batter. For these 400 grams of flour, we need 1 liter of water, but we will divide it into 2 parts. First, pour in 500 milliliters of cold water and mix well. Then, add 500 milliliters of boiling water and stir thoroughly. Add 1 teaspoon of salt for a subtle flavor, and let the batter rest for about an hour. While the batter is resting, let's prep the other ingredients. For the filling, we're using 35 grams of dried wood ear mushrooms, soaked until plump and finely minced. Slice some shallots thinly to make crispy fried shallots. Of course, you can use store-bought ones to save time. Next, mince half a shallot for sautéing the filling later. Chop up some green onions, making sure to keep the white heads and the green parts separate. Vietnamese Banh Cuon is always served with chopped cucumbers, fresh herbs like lettuce, blanched bean sprouts, and, most importantly, Thai basil for that signature flavor. We will also prep some Vietnamese pork roll, known as Chả Lụa. Just slice it into bite-sized pieces. First, let's fry the shallots. Pour enough oil into a pan to completely submerge the sliced shallots. Once the oil is hot, fry them until they reach a beautiful golden brown, then strain them through a sieve so they stay nice and crispy. Make sure to save this fragrant shallot oil. We'll use it to brush onto our rice rolls later. Now, let's cook the filling. Heat 2 tablespoons of oil and sauté the minced shallots and the white parts of the green onions until fragrant. Next, add the minced pork and stir fry. Be sure to use a spatula to break the meat apart so it doesn't clump up. Toss in the minced wood ear mushrooms. Season everything with 2 teaspoons of seasoning powder, 1 teaspoon of sugar, a quarter teaspoon of MSG, and a pinch of ground black pepper. Stir fry evenly until fully cooked. Then mix in the chopped green onions and a little bit of the fried shallots. Give it one last stir and turn off the heat. Before pouring the batter, let's prepare a large plate. Wrap it tightly with plastic wrap and brush a thin layer of shallot oil on top. This method prevents the rice sheets from sticking and makes rolling them incredibly easy. You will also need a small water spray bottle set to a fine mist. Going back to our batter, give it another good stir, then add 1 tablespoon of shallot oil. Place your pan on the stove over medium-low heat. Once the pan is just hot enough, pour in a ladle of batter. Quickly swirl it to coat the bottom evenly, and immediately pour any excess batter back into the bowl. Quickly spray a fine mist of water 2 to 3 times over the surface, then cover the pan with a lid. Let it steam like this for 30 seconds. When you see the batter change from an opaque white to completely translucent, it is perfectly cooked. Use a wet, flat chopstick or a spatula to gently lift the rice sheet onto the plastic-wrapped plate. Spoon some of the pork and mushroom filling evenly across the sheet and carefully roll it up. Very quick and simple, right? Continue this process until you run out of batter. This recipe makes enough to comfortably feed 4 people. Use scissors to cut the rolls into bite-sized pieces. Arrange them on a plate with the fresh herbs, cucumber, bean sprouts, and Chả Lụa. Top it all off with a generous amount of crispy fried shallots. To eat it the right way, you must serve it with the Vietnamese sweet and sour dipping sauce, Nuoc Cham. To make the perfect sweet and sour dipping sauce, use a ladle to measure out 4 parts, warm water and 1 part sugar, stirring until completely dissolved. Next, pour in 1 part fish sauce and 1 part lime juice, giving it a good mix. Finally, toss in finely minced garlic and chili so they float beautifully on top. Drop in some crispy fried shallots and our dipping sauce is ready. Each roll is incredibly soft and chewy, perfectly blending with the savory meat and mushroom filling. This is the perfect comfort food for a cool day. Good luck making it, and I will see you in the next video.